Good morning. Good morning, everybody. COVID-19, as usual, regular talk with little variance every day. Signals are changed, unfortunately. I don't know. It may stand, it may not stand. Let us hope for better. Title is Field Engineering, Civil Field Engineering, Life, Quality and AnnexSL, which shall be main today. COVID-19, Safety, Health, Environment. Engineers' role, engineers who are responsible for society, its development, its advancement. Designs, which is the root of engineering, without which there can be no engineering, and which is product of mind only. Construction, methods, contracts, organizations, communication and coordination, and why quality of standard material plus works. Always stress on quality. It is very important. No quality means no life. No life means no quality. No standards. We cannot live life like this. Okay, it's life of individual, it's life of society, it's life everywhere. But life is dynamic. It's dynamic. This is life. Constant break of video signals, audio signals telling me, do not speak. There is no meaning. We are not coming up. This means this video is going to be no use. Come on, either close, my dear, or tell me what you are doing, or just come again. See, it's a laughing question. Well, we keep on showing certificates of various capacities everybody has. These certificates, and you can say quality system. There should be some relation between two. Quality system demands something and quality demands something. Both demand ourselves. We may say anything, we can say something. It doesn't mean anything when we talk of quality, its system, we talk of organization. That's why I always say field engineering, civil field engineering. Maybe people confuse with civil engineering. Civil, I mean to say, yes, it is a part of civil engineering, it is civil engineering, but civil engineering is everywhere. In every field, you will find civil engineering. Maybe it is mechanical field, civil engineering is required. Electrical field, civil engineering is required. Automobile field, civil engineering is required. There is no field that exists where civil engineering is exited. No one can say I exit civil engineer and do my engineering. That is not feasible at all. Well, I consider even God's earth, God's system as civil engineering, because God is greatest civil engineer, supreme civil engineer. Therefore, I use life after field engineering, civil field engineering, because civil field engineering means entirety of engineering, and life is a part of that, or you can say engineering is a part of life. Both. Most important is engineering is part of life, and engineering improves life, whereas engineering also uses life, because without life one cannot work. It's not, I'm talking theoretical, I'm talking experience-based understanding, and you all know this. We are talking about COVID-19, which people consider too light these days. I'm not talking of UK or USA. I'm talking of our country, Bharat, for this reason that our people are very, very careless, very ignorant, very, you can say, top level optimist. Nothing will happen to me. If you talk to someone why you are not wearing mask, what's reason, that person would say nothing will happen, or laughing. Simply answer is laughing or smiling. One answer, I forgot this, or I left it at home, I left in my car. Usually many people enter my house because there is a temple in house and these people come there. I don't stop them. Okay, no problem. You come and worship if you want, but I don't allow them without mask. And I when I am available at home, I point out, where is your mask? I forgot in car, or I forgot at home, and they just try to excuse. Means you want to pass excuse only for little item. Mask, very, I think it's not very big item. It's not very inconvenient. Means just because you do not want to use it, or you know reason behind that. Even if you are inoculated, you have gone through both vaccinations, it doesn't exempt you from wearing mask. At least when you are with others, because you have no right to infect them. Maybe you think you will not be infected, that's fine. You may not be infected. You may not be infected to known symptoms, but you will be infected otherwise. If you have infection, if you contracted infection, you may not feel any symptom, but certainly you will impact other person. Don't you think that? Are you not having any level of mind to think that? That is serious question. Interested in development and money factor than in health factor, though health factor should be number one. Politicians around world have virtually concluded that let people die or let people suffer. Economy must go on, as economy is prime criteria for them, prime consideration for them, and not health. When that situation reaches, humanity is lost. COVID-19 has not been understood well, it has not been solved. It has not been, you can say, reached to a state. Every day you find confusing statements, mix up of statements from various scientists from around the world. Or maybe they are under pressure to issue certain good statement or bad statement, I can say. Sometimes you see, oh, there is no problem with COVID, sometimes this is a big problem. Students may face problem, society may face problem, this may face problem, business may face, all these statements keep pouring in from various parts of the world. There is no constancy in this, and there is no consistency, you can say, consistent less statement. There is no consistency. So I every day browse through many newspapers, corona news, this news, that news, and I find that foolishness is working around the world. You can say that. Politicians indirectly like that such news should come, which do not cause panic among people, and people should restart life, even at cost of COVID infection, at cost of COVID contraction. They don't bother. For them, if people die, doesn't make a difference, and people are healthy, they wait for votes only. That's what I'm saying. We have to understand safety, and we have to keep ourselves safe. And if we cannot keep ourselves safe, we cannot understand anything else. And that is the reason that our role is very important. Engineers, doctors tell, of course, but engineers should also take care of society. I'm not finding anything from engineering world, from all over. from engineering profession from all over the world, that what they contribute to our society. At least you can educate people if you cannot do anything else. Because there is nothing that you can do. You may conduct digital seminars or you can say webinars or whatever. It's all futile because your information does not reach to people. That is prime requirement. If my knowledge doesn't reach to public, there is no end user after public. Once public is there, after that there is nothing. So if your information doesn't reach public, if whatever is instructed or whatever is advised even by government, if that doesn't reach public, all activity, all exercise, all acts are futile, I can say. All what you do is futile if people do not know, and that's what's happening. People are not well informed. About 35 to 40,000 cases are happening. These are being registered in the United Kingdom. Every day we find this. How many people do know this in our country? About 1.5 lakhs or 150,000 cases are being recorded every day in USA. How many people do know here in our country? That is lapse, that is problem. Because people believe in hearsay, people believe in what useless news television channels disseminate, publish. That nonsense people use. They don't want to read papers from international world. They don't want to receive internet information. They are more interested in video, in films and entertainment, and not in quality system of life. That's what I am saying. Means designs are different here. I am not talking of structural design. Designs of politics and designs of society. Political design is always very dangerous because it doesn't have any element of material within this. Such designs, you can say, are just for purpose of, you can say, business of votes or business of democracy, you can say. They never think construction concerned about this, because what we are missing is we are missing social organizations, we are missing communication and coordination. We want to know little news through some misinformation. We can say misinformation from newspapers, misinformation from print media, from electronic media. These people are not very much professionals, I can say. Maybe they have journalism degrees, they have other degrees, but degrees never can make any person professional. Person is made professional by person itself, by will of person, by performance of person, by determination of person, by commitment of person, and that is missing. This means communication is designed. What information we have to communicate, but we don't have to communicate. Both are decided by some power, and that can be, you can say, political power indirectly, because politician cannot understand science, politician cannot understand life. Politician is only interested that politicians all over the world consider citizens as commodity, citizens as voter only. If citizen gives vote to someone, that's end of topic. After that, politician has no relation with voter. Okay, I purchase you for something and you paid me. That's okay, fine, I don't care. It's very bad statement, but it's fact. Health should be number one in consideration. It was in beginning because people were in panic. Now politicians say they can handle anything. I don't know how. Maybe politicians are biggest scientists in the world. They are biggest engineers. Unfortunately, I am saying this because it is politicians only who spoil everything. So they are spoiling engineers, they are ruining scientists. They can destroy anything. Politicians can destroy everything. And it's happened. Politicians of USA destroyed so much. In alliance with UK and many other countries, Iraq was destroyed. Afghanistan was destroyed. Syria was destroyed. You can say it is destruction, a business of these people. So what if they destruct society itself? Very, very critical thought, but fact of life it is. That's my reason I always say education is not just certification, but it is a quality, or we should forget that. I always so we are somewhere in leadership, I am sure we are somewhere in leadership, and in leadership we then before that there are other clauses we studied. Let me just put it in proper form, and this is called AnnexSL, which is high level structure of quality system now adopted. In this we went through and we considered 10 clauses of this system, and that is scope. Clause number 1 is a scope. Clause number 2 is normative references. Then is improvement. These are standard format. This is standard format of this quality system AnnexSL, and this started in 2015. So we have gone through scope, we have gone through normative references. In scope we concluded we tried to understand what is this outcome of management system, which are industry specific and should be aligned to clause 4, that is context of organization. Then we had to go normative references, which generally references of codes and all standards. Then terms and conditions we just discussed, which is these conditions, terms and condition definitions applicable to particular specific standard in addition to format related terms and conditions. Then we have gone to context of organization, which are understanding organization in its context and understanding needs and expectation of parties, determining scope of management system and management system itself, and point of considerations were why organization does exist and identify internal and external issues that impacted outcome, interested parties and their requirements, define scope and set boundaries of management system, raise implies awareness involvement, and then we jumped on to leadership. Leadership, which is dominant factor in fact. Leadership is dominant factor. Everybody is a leader we say, but fact remains that everybody cannot be leader to that competency as it is required for work, for running organization, for responding to responsibilities, for responding to requirements, for responding to every legal aspect and all other aspects. I'm sorry. I should put off fan, I think. Fan was causing problem because of temperature. It's 26 degrees. I think this time, let me see how much it is. It is 26 degrees something, and I thought, because when I start I put off fan always. Reason being there could be aerosol somewhere and I should avoid myself from those effects. So it is 26. Well, no problem. I try to avoid when I start working at morning time. There can be any aerosol in my hall here. Nobody can guarantee. Just to spread that or to suppress that or let it settle, I put on ceiling fan. Just for your information, because it's a precautionary measure, so that these aerosols, if certain, or maybe some dust particles or some other particles or some flies, some mosquitoes, these can just run away. That's the reason I always start fan. Well, just for your information, because it's a precautionary measure against anything, against COVID or something else. So leadership means is very important definition, I can say. This term lead is leadership. Lead whom? I'm sorry. Lead whom? Question is who, what is objective and what is subjective? Well, I think I have to make myself objective for my leadership. I claim leadership, say, what does it mean? This means I have to lead someone. I have to lead some people, this may be, or work, this may be, or my acts. I have to lead, or you have to lead, it is same thing. There is some, you can say, objective you have to achieve, propel, you can decide, in life itself, in profession. Some objective you have to achieve. This means you have to focus on that object. And for focusing, you have to do something. You have to concentrate on that. Concentration does not mean just opening that page and reading. Concentration means mental capability. Your mind should stick on that. And until you get it, you should do that without stop or without any, you can say, ignorance. You cannot put comma or full stop there. You have to keep in mind this is a sequential punctuation and you have to move on that till time you get that objective. And this process may be slow or may be fast. That is different. That depends upon what sort of work is that. There may be thinking required a lot in that, or there may be physical activity required in that. There may be something else is required, for example, procurement or no procurement, or some writing, some coordination, some designs, some sort of construction or part of construction, and your own role or somebody else's role. All these combinations, which can be called processes of doing something in whatever way. It can be termed process of commitment or commitment itself. And it's based on certain policy. What is my policy? What is your policy? Do you want to get something? Do you want to attain something? That is very important. Therefore, leadership itself says it's a ship. You have to make yourself a ship of thinking. Ship of thinking, ship of vision, ship of contemplation, and ship of reading or observing everyone. It's very important point. Listen. You have to observe every resource. You have to observe every information. You have to understand what you want to do. Mind is very active, remember. Mind is only organ in body that can help everyone if you really seek help. And if you don't want to use your mind, it is not problem of mind. It's not problem of nature. It's your problem that you are not happy using your mind. That stage is not acceptable. If you don't use your mind, you cannot help yourself. Use of mind is not paid to someone. It is your mind. It's your property. You can benefit out of this, but you have to use it. And use of mind is very, very difficult for some work. Use of mind, automatically mind works to see life, how life is moving. In that, our input is not required. What you are doing, how you are living, what you are eating, how you are passing your day. Where no thinking is required, it's because it's already programmed. You have to live, you have to sleep, you have to write, you have to read, you have to study, which is normal. And you have to move your life. But beyond that profile, when you do something very important, very significant, everybody has to do that. And there you can say, though mind already works, but their mind has to enhance its profile, enhance its vistas so that it can accommodate your thinking, your desire, your program. And where you can say policy comes into play, you have to decide some policy, what you have to do, in what way you want to move, are you capable of doing that? You have to investigate it. Or can you bring yourself to that level where you can perform that? So it is not only when I talk quality, it's not quality of system itself. System you have to make or you have to follow some system. Making some system is an art, but art of what? Art of thinking. People say art of living. I would say no, it's art of thinking, because living doesn't have any meaning. Living is just physical entity. I'm not talking of physical entity. I'm talking of mental capacity. Mind is such a device which is very powerful. It's so powerful, it can stir whole world, and if it's so powerful, it can also stir whole system of universe. Mind is such a powerful equipment, you can say, that cannot be isolated from your body. It can be, of course, affected by less use or more use. I have seen some people who don't have any degree of education, who don't have any formal education, but they are very powerful in mind. So they abuse mind, they misuse mind, they do not know what to do, and even if they have common sense, they can lead life very excellently. Life is very excellent for them. They can earn a lot, they can make a lot. Of course, they did not study, but they don't understand logic, they don't know, but they can make money. Because mind does not allow them to sleep. Same thing applies to everyone. This is what I say, everyone has to decide its policy. What is your policy of your life? If your policy of your life is amenable, tenable, then I can also seek help from you for my policy, because I consider you more important. Or maybe I am more important to you, then you can consider me more important. It's this way. It's mutual. Sometimes you are experienced, I am not experienced. I am knowledgeable, but that knowledge is theoretical. I have not learned how to use this to practical. You have learned this. So I have to learn some practical, maybe under your guidance or someone else, until I acquire that knowledge, which is important for work. Knowledge is for work, not for declaration. If I have much knowledge in engineering or in some other field, it doesn't mean I am rich. No. Because I studied, you studied, and you got that knowledge. But that knowledge is also not regular. That can be, remembered, or that can be established, or that can be made better only if you utilize that knowledge. And if I don't utilize that knowledge, I cannot decide any policy, because policy is very important. It's not just policy of sitting and saying, okay, I want to do this. No. You can't say I want to achieve this target. That's not policy. Or you want to satisfy whom? Just by saying or by writing on a piece of paper doesn't solve your problem until you experience it. So policy statement is based on experience. It's not simply writing on a piece of paper. That's only a transmission or communication. But what is in your mind? That is a question. Can you lead your mind? Can you lead yourself? It's very hypo and hyper both requirement, that I can lead myself or you can lead yourself. Self-lead, this is requirement of advancement. This is requirement of a state of work. People say state of art. I say state of existence, state of leadership. Leader is not a verb. Leader is not a noun. Leader is a capacity. We can say competent leader, incompetent leader. If leader does not understand its role, how can that person work? First you decide what is your role. Your role can help you. decide policy. And policy can be decided only when you have some plan. Your plan should not be, you can say, extravaganza. It should not be like it's not performable. Your plan cannot be like a poem, just a hypothetical, imaginary statement in song form. It can be some, fiction writing. When I talk of profession, I talk of world, because particularly in my profession, engineering, we are not alone. I cannot work alone like an artist. I cannot work alone like a poet. I require some basis. I require some information. I require some physical material. I require some physical resources for doing something, for deciding policy, or for leading myself. When I say leader in profession, I am leader of mind. I am leader of using these resources. I am leader of creating technology, or I can understand technology created by others. Use that to best of my capacity and get benefits out of that and improve that. So policy in engineering is very it comes into play again and again. And what we have to think of, what we have to do is, we have to, you can say, consider certain points for this. What is leadership? Again, I say, it's not a miraculous, I'm going to talk miraculous statement. Everybody has different opinion, and I too. But every opinion should be considered. I may have my own options. I cannot say that my opinion means option. I can have any opinion, but maybe my opinion is not much better than yours, or your opinion may be leading one. I can adopt that. But I understand in management or in governance, there is no restriction. People just abuse others. It happens. They get benefit. Means there's a difference. Management and science or engineering. In management, you don't have to use your mind to that level. You can say steal others' mind. People do that. Means they take information from others and use it for their work without any copyright, without any patent, and without asking. And even if you ask someone, give information, who bothers? You are a person of authority, so you can use it and you say you have done it. It happens. Means those gentle people who don't have that capacity of governance, they give information, but who uses that? Manager uses that. So that leadership, I don't consider that as a leadership. I should not depend on work done by others for my success. I should simply say, I am using this information which is given to me by this XYZ. But that is called truth. And who believes in truth in this world? Truth is only on papers, only on swearing in. Factually, there does not exist any truth. Every work is manipulated, every product is manipulated. So my emphasis on leadership is according to requirement. This is a consideration. Leadership be true leadership, or it is, just created leadership. Created leadership is very dangerous, or you can say planted leadership is very dangerous, because you are going to plant someone, or you are planted as leader and you do not know what to do. That is politics then. That is not science. That's not engineering. Because in science and engineering and medical, manipulation cannot work. Fake work cannot work. You have to deal with real factors. You have to deal with facts. Only then we can say leadership works. You have to lead technology. You have to lead work. You have to lead everywhere. It's not just that we should ask some people sit in top management and lead. Leadership is capability. You know, why countries fail? What is reason? You can say Lebanon has failed. Many other countries like Syria has failed. America failed in Afghan, America failed in Iraq, America failed in Libya. And there are so many such reasons, such references you can say. Why do they fail? Because political leadership doesn't know anything. They don't understand science, they don't understand engineering, they understand only manipulation. Politics means manipulation. Manipulation to make people fool, because politicians know people have only value for votes, nothing else. They consider people as voters, that's all. Democracy means that, nothing more than that. It applies to system of quality also. It's the kind of that people, oh, I have to just make money for this company, I have to get this company into profit.